When it's okay to ignore a staccato. I'm Hilda Ryan with your quick tip for piano teachers. Now, in general, I'm very careful in choosing editions of music, particularly when it includes classical repertoire. I want to agree with the editing that's there, if it's the Baroque or the classical, really. Sometimes you have exactly what the composer intended, and sometimes you have additional editorial markings. Sometimes editors will put a staccato at the end of a slur in an effort to make sure that the student releases. For example, this is the rondo alla turca. You see the staccato right there? Now, if I observe that, this is what it's likely to sound like if I was a student. You see, when you have a staccato, you have a tendency to lift and then you pop the note. A faster attack, we have a percussive instrument here, but faster attack equals louder sound. We don't want a louder sound at the end of a slur, so I think that's over editing. I tell students that's what it is, and please to take your pencil and connect the end of the slur with the staccato so it does not remain there on the page. Anything that's on the page that I'm not observing, be it a crescendo mark, an articulative mark, or some fingering, I eliminate, because if I leave it there, it takes my brain a millisecond to process the fact that no, I'm not going to observe that, and takes away the opportunity to fill that millisecond with productive thinking. So I always want to have things on the page that I'm going to observe. So I have students connect. I do the first one, and then I tell them to go home and do the rest of them. Another example would be this little Song of the Lark by Tchaikovsky. You see the ends of the slurs and the staccatos there. If the student looks at that, they might go. All we want is a release. By the way, a release, not a lift. A release, not a lift, if you don't want an accent, a pop at the end. So that's when I do not observe a staccato, when it comes at the end of a slur.